Action.
Are you doing another demonstration? Oh, right.
So, no, I'm doing a video about the tool.
Oh, excellent.
If we're talking about the tools,
Swiss Army knife
for the flint knapping, what I generally do is I start off with a fairly heavy hammerstone to start breaking open the big pieces of flint, and that produces what we call flakes, big usable flakes. They were certainly using these tools in the Paleolithic period to produce big flakes for hand axes, but they were also still using the same technology right the way through to the Neolithic and the Bronze Age to make axe heads and adze heads. So I start off with something this size to take off really big flakes, and then I've got a selection of smaller hammerstones that I use to work the flakes down to make what we'd refer to as a rough out. And once we get to the rough out stage and we've got sharp edges right the way around the outsides of the pieces of flint, what I then do is abrade off the sharpest edges, because a very thin sharp edge, I can probably demonstrate, a very thin sharp edge is very brittle. I don't know if you can hear that with all of the hammering, but I'm just breaking that with my fingernail. So what we need to do is grind off any thin sharp edges to make them strong enough to take blows from the next tool for the job, which is deer antler. Now this stuff is amazing. You would think it was designed to work flint. It's the perfect density, and the reason it works so well is it's slightly softer than the flint. So as we strike onto the edges, the flint can bite into it very slightly, so it gets a perfect grip, and then the weight of the tool will then shear off nice thin flakes, and that's the key to the antler hammer. The stone hammers take off very thick flakes, the antler hammer will produce very thin flakes, so that's what enables us to really thin pieces down to make things like hand axes, daggers, spearheads. So it's a very, very important tool. If we're then talking about the production of arrowheads, or even finishing off tools like the Solutrean spearheads or even the Bronze Age daggers, we can use the tip of a piece of antler, and by protecting your hand with some pretty tough pieces of leather, what you then do, just braid this back a little bit, what you then do is you use the tip of the antler. I'm holding onto the flint very tightly with my fingers. What we do is use our body weight to lean onto the edge to remove very accurate flakes. And you can see those flakes have travelled in across the surface of the piece of flint, and that enables us to put on a very thin, sharp and even serrated edge. So that's a toolkit, really, just from what I've shown you, a toolkit that spans over 2 million years.
Excellent.